Good morning, everyone. Welcome. This is our meditation, and we are, it is an incredible day, an incredible initiation window coming up on solar eclipse energy, having come out of the lunar eclipse, a lot of um, transition and transmission, as well as heading into the season where the veil is incredibly thin during this time of year. We're heading into a big thinning of the veil window, and it's leading to a culmination of a lot of work that we have all been up to since we really began this part of really back in the spring, right? We set these intentions and put all these pieces together back in the spring. And it's the culmination of those intentions, those desires, everything we've been working towards, whatever is needing to shift out of the way to help us truly step into the timelines that are starting to stitch themselves into play and into being to carry us forward for the next 18 years, the next long window and period of time. So today's meditation, our focus is on power. And it's going to be a pretty simple activation, a pretty simple, just kind of fundamental stuff. But, when we think about power, there's a lot of automatic association and connotation with that word. Um, but as we kind of continue down this path of creation and see things that are both true and not true and new truths and just across the board opportunities to reassess and reevaluate who we are, what we are, as we lay this new foundation, wanting to ensure that spirit is inherently woven into our choices and our purpose and everything we are up to. We get to call forward what our definition of power is all about. And oftentimes we associate it with politics, with money, relationships, and everything else. But truly, truly, what is behind Metatron and the meditations that we are up to, and the divine feminine and the divine masculine, is each of us claiming our power, right? And by power, it is the truth that lives within us. It is that spark of light that is our inherent birthright and gift. And if we start to accept that as the primary power, the primary truth that leads and governs our lives, that we possess that as a divine birthright, then all of the other stories and permutations of things that get told out there in the world just start to unravel pretty quickly. And it makes it a lot easier to see through where things are landing in truth and not, and where there is power that is being exerted, or where we have compromised or handed our power over in ways that we couldn't see before. So what I want to have us do today, we're going to go in and we're going to play on this cusp of where that God spark lives, right? We're just going to pull it in, we're going to pull it up, and have some fun. So with that, taking a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe in, truly breathing in, we are at the beginning of a new quarter, again, a new era, as we spoke about. And astrologically, we've got a lot of cool, intense, fascinating stuff happening at this moment. And we have enough within each of us to no longer be questioning exactly the path forward, but to be ready to take a first step forward energetically, right? We've come out of the stagnation that we experienced over the summer. We've got new energies that have been unearthing themselves through our bodies. And from this point forward, it is one step, one breath at a time. So as you take this first breath in, and then the second and the third, really let yourself be immersed in the newness, a new relationship to yourself, a new relationship to the power that lives within you, a new relationship to spirit, to God, to goddess, to the divine mother, to earth, to Gaia. Go ahead and take this next breath now from that perspective of recalibration, a resetting, as though you're meeting yourself for the first time in this space and this frequency, and as though you're meeting the divine and spirit, both mother and father, for the first time. And as you breathe in those breaths of fresh air, of newness, let it roll through your body, let it settle in your body, and let whatever is needing to percolate up to the top, up to the surface, to make way, to make room, let all of that wind its way through. We're going to approach today's startup a little bit differently. Of course, I'm going to have you just cue up quickly a light link, feeling the sun from above and the earth beneath your feet. But I want to have you feel into the center, to your core. Just let your consciousness wander in, spiral in, from the top of the mind into the heart, and from the root of your belly up to the heart. And as you imagine, as though we've dropped a marble from the pineal gland down, and we've dropped a marble from the root chakra down, imagining the two being drawn together like two atoms being pulled together by gravity. And as this marble begins to make its way down into the heart from the pineal gland, and again, because we're most likely sitting vertical or however you're sitting, I'm using the down and up, but truly both are being pulled to the center. Gravity is going upwards from the bottom and downwards from the top. Just imagining these marbles, little balls of light, consciousness, intention, swirling down and through your body. Almost allow yourself to hear the sound of the marble rolling down the chute. And then the plunk into the heart. And then from the bottom, from the root, imagining if it helps your brain that you're upside down, right? So gravity can work, or just laying flat. Let your brain release its truths of earth and the third dimensional realm. And let the truth of your power be shown to you. So watch this marble, this luminescent speck of light, begin to wind its way towards the heart, taking out the up or the down or the pulls of gravity. And let that energy, as it spirals around through the belly, through the gut, around the spine, through the first and the second chakras, through the third, almost like a spark preparing to rise or drifting towards the sky. Let that power begin to rise in you. Everyone here has found and experienced this force from within, this Shakti, this Kundalini rising. And in this moment, we're just allowing our mind in all of its beliefs and its limitations and the programming within it that tells us that our power is somewhere else, It tells us this force is somewhere else. So I'm going to go through a couple of those filters. I'm going to go through a couple of those layers that keep our mind from disassociating with our power. I want to have you feel into, let's start with home and environment first. And I don't want you to think through any of the people or the characters or any of the dynamics that are in it. Just home and environment. And we'll throw family and relationship in there as well. And just imagine an incredible force, whether you see it as an angel or a big magnet just outside of you that comes in and draws out of you all, we'll think of it as like the little chips of iron, in the same way you run a magnet over iron and all these little black filaments get drawn out, attracted to the magnet, imagining that magnet just outside of you. And so everything within your system that is programmed in at a cellular and electromagnetic level, imagining it all being released like little dark flecks of iron being drawn to the magnet as the magnet hovers. You could even imagine running the magnet over your body. So anything correlated and related to the construct of family and home and relationship in your environment, it holds you back from your power. Letting that unwind, letting those pieces be drawn to the magnets until we reach your core power center unit. Taking a nice deep breath in, I want to have you now tune into whatever, I'm going to call it iron, is wound around the spine. Thoughts, beliefs, restrictions. And it almost might look like a twine of barbed wire wrapped around not just the spine, but the core inner. Think of it as like an inner energy, like a power center that, like a tube, if you will, that runs up and through the center of your body. And go ahead and just envisioning, if it feels like there's cuts from the barbs, envision the golden light supporting and start unwinding that wire, whether you go from bottom down or top down, bottom up or top down. Start unwinding and take your time here. Really, actually, I'm seeing everyone working from the top of the spine down, unwinding this barbed wire. And when we get down in the root chakra, it's like there's this bramble of it. And there's the magnet trying to draw it all out. But we want to take our time, really unwind, coil it. It's like, think of it as like a hose that's gotten tangled. But it's this barbed wire. Continuing to untangle. And as you do, noticing in the field, if you sense any old energy, infection, like just anything, like you may get different, like some sludgy energy. I'm getting a lot of infectious type of energy. So again, that golden light is the antibiotic, like honey from the bees. Super potent, super powerful, continuing to unwind. Freeing your energy body, freeing yourself from the restriction and the constriction, the prison, if you will, that has held you enslaved to the beliefs and the constructs of the world, of the environment around you, the familial beliefs, all of it. And so beneath this bramble is yet another post. This looks like a rusted signpost. I got a lot of interesting. This is not where I expected us to go today, but it's working. We're clearing something out. Keep digging in, and beneath that rusted signpost, keep dropping down all the way into its root and its foundation. And as we're ready, once all of that barbed wire is cleared out, we want to give it over to the magnet. You may want to pull it out the top of the spine, right? Like just gently allow it to come through or disintegrate into the little iron flecks and be drawn to the magnet. As we reach this signpost that is rooted down, this is an old pinning. I think everyone here live with me knows what I mean by pinning, but energy gets pinned to create a force, to create a vortex around it. And so this is an old pinning that is antiquated, ancient, and we could be going back tens of thousands of years here on this pinning, certainly through the patriarchal structure. And it looks like a splinter rooted deep, deep, deep within the field. And so if you feel called, if it feels too painful or intense, feel free to call upon Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael, as we release this construct, this belief rooted deep within the system of enslavement, of less than, of a time when the consciousness got pinned for maybe the right reasons, maybe not, but it was the evolution. And let's just go ahead and bless it. Let's go ahead and bless all of this field as like a splinter rising from somewhere deep within your energy field, up and out through the spine, out the top of the head. And this, as it releases from the top of the head, is coming out. It looks like a rusted signpost that you would see on the side of the road, but as it's coming out, it looks like a sword. And releasing that sword from the top of your mind. Maybe it was the sword in the stone. Maybe it was of many battles fought and lost, many battles fought and won. As you pull it through, the angels receive it. For it to be honored and loved. And in its place now, through the depths, we started with those marbles carrying us deep within. I want to have you reach into that abyss that we just unlocked, into that pinning. And it's your conscious choice. This isn't like the energy just floods in because suddenly an energetic within each of us. I'm envisioning a butterfly pinned to a board. And yet we don't know of the collective, of the consciousness, if that butterfly pinned itself to that board so that others may carry forward. I read in a story recently the other day around the consciousness of ants and how ants will form a bridge and sacrifice themselves so that the other ants may walk across with the food for the colony. And while the ants in the bridge know that they are going to, well, maybe they know, maybe they don't, but essentially the idea is that the food that gets carried to the colony ensures life, ensures the continuation of the species. And so these different times that the consciousness has been pinned and we've maybe fallen to the sword, honoring that part of us that was there and evidenced as a continuation of the soul and the love and the light that each of us was carrying forth so that others may go after us. This is an element of new consciousness of the divine feminine. It is a consciousness of the greater whole, of the collective, that has been pinned for the sake of the individual to come forward and be birthed. And so today, as we come together under the construct of power, your power is in your choice. And I see this butterfly deep within, brilliant blue wings, deep within each of you. Maybe I'm seeing some different colors now. First and foremost was some bright blue wings. And I think that color represents the future consciousness of what is to come. But to bring life to it, to bring it back to life, is this awareness that it sacrificed a version of us in a past lifetime, sacrificed ourselves so that the consciousness may move forward. And there is power in that. And there is power in our ability to choose to awaken this consciousness again, to embrace it as our own, to allow an unearthing of a capacity and ability to see abundance and prosperity and forthrightness. And so you each individually get to choose. That is the gift of the sacrifice of whatever was pinned within your field way back in time. The power to choose. The power to choose as an individual to awaken and to embrace your creation power. And so I invite you to envision yourself with both of those marbles now in your hand, one in each hand. And you have the power, the right to choose, bringing them together. So we're going to jump dimensionally a little bit, but imagining a marble that dropped from the top of the mind down to the heart and from the bottom of the root up to the heart, each one now being held in your hand, little orbs of light, representing both your creation power from the light and your creation power from the darkness, and then your brilliance and your ability to choose to bring them together, to make something new, to sacrifice the essence of the light and the dark so that they may birth into something beyond our imagination. So when you're ready, bringing the two hands together, allowing maybe like Play-Doh or however you envision it, the two to become one. And then as you're ready, dropping that new field of energy down deep as far as it'll go to that butterfly pinned deep in your field, and giving it the conscious choice to continue on through the teachings and the lessons, through the truths that are espoused when we take ourselves out of the confines and the restrictions and the beliefs that have been placed upon us. New ideas, new old ideas emerging, birthing as anew. New ways to understand and relate to your own power, where it is not diminished. And as you feel yourself just settling into what this is, feeling the rising deep within you, of that butterfly, feeling it beginning to pump its wings, coming from within the depths, illuminating the force and the light as it goes, until you feel it rising through your hips, and you feel its wings popping into place where your wings are. Again, the old and the old and the current creating something new. As those wings blend with yours, new angels being birthed today, new truths, new levels of freedom that go beyond what our mind can conceive in this moment, but our bodies can feel. Let yourself feel this freedom. Let yourself feel the power of these new wings alighting, taking flight. Let yourself be a new earth angel with new consciousness. Again, I know our minds want to grasp, what is it? What exactly? Just feel that power within your heart. Feel those wings beating. Let your body hold this frequency. It has been so long, until you are ready to set yourself free. Taking a nice deep breath in, fluttering those wings, feeling this core, a new power core, almost like the body of the butterfly has come in and aligned with the spine, if you will, like a battery pack of luminescent light, of a consciousness that is coming, not fully embodied yet, and that's okay, but is starting to weave its way into the mixture of the electromagnetic frequencies and signals and sounds that are being pulsed out into the world. Nice deep breaths in as you slowly make your way back into your body and to the room and to the moment. Letting yourself feel that bridge of the rainbow sparking to life within you. For you are here as that bridge between both worlds and both dimensions, all the dimensions, between the consciousness that was and the consciousness that is to come. Showing up, doing the work, and then going back to our day to day, letting ourselves be held in light and love, letting ourselves remember the truth of the core of what power is really all about. With that, namaste. So much love. So glad everyone made it in and has made it into this powerful meditation.